Let's talk Apple's latest M3 chips, and this time around it's all about the M3 Pro chip in the new 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros, which has 25% less memory bandwidth than the M1 Pro and the M2 Pro chips used in equivalent models from the two previous generations. What is going on? Based on the latest 3nm technology and featuring all new GPU architecture, the M3 series of chips is said to represent the fastest and most power-efficient evolution of Apple silicon thus far. It just keeps getting faster. For example, the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M3 Pro chip is up to 40% faster than the 16-inch model with the M1 Pro, according to Apple. However, looking at Apple's own hardware specifications, the M3 Pro system on a chip, SoC, features 150 gigs a second memory bandwidth compared to 200 gigs a second on the earlier M1 Pro and M2 Pro. As for the M3 Max, Apple says it's capable of up to 400 gigs a second. Now, this wording is because the less pricey, scaled-down M3 Max with the 14-core CPU and 30-core GPU has only 300 gigs a second of memory bandwidth, whereas the equivalent scaled-down M2 Max with the 12-core CPU and 30-core GPU featured 400 gigs a second bandwidth, just like its more powerful 12-core CPU and 38-core GPU version. Now, notably, Apple has also changed core ratios on the higher-tier M3 Pro chip compared to its direct predecessor. So the M3 Pro with 12-core CPU has 6 performance cores, that's versus 8 performance cores on the 12-core M2 Pro, and 6 efficiency cores, that's versus 4 efficiency cores on the 12-core M2 Pro, whilst the GPU has 16 cores versus 19 on the equivalent M2 Pro chip. Now, additionally, whilst the M3 chip's 16-core Neural Engine has the same number of cores as the one Apple featured in the 3nm-based A17 Pro chip that debuted with the iPhone 15 Pro series in September, it's comparatively weaker on paper in terms of maximum achievable throughput, which is measured in trillions of operations per second, tops. Now, according to Apple, the M3 Neural Engine is capable of 18 tops, whereas the A17 Pro Neural Engine is capable of 35 tops. Now, it's hard to say for certain, but it is possible that the iPhone 15 Pro requires higher performing Neural Engine for features like computational photography and Face ID, whereas the M3 can compensate in other areas like machine learning by utilizing its additional GPU cores. So currently, it's unclear what real-world difference these changes make to the M3 performance when pitted against Apple's equivalent precursor chips in various usage scenarios, especially given that the latest processors include the new dynamic caching memory allocation technology, which ensures that only the exact amount of memory is needed for each task. And this isn't helped by the fact that Apple annoyingly advertises the power of the M3 Pro and M3 Max chips by repeatedly emphasizing comparisons to the M1 Pro and M1 Max rather than the more recent M2 variants, against which performance gains appear more modest. So, have you got an M1? Have you got an M2? Are you going to get an M3? Is it time to upgrade? What's your thoughts on all of this right now? The hype is finally here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Get subscribing, come on.